I was joking with her, I said, now that you're here, I need 10 million. I said, don't just give us money like that. All right. At home, we used to say that it takes finance to run romance. Is that correct? So in business, it takes finance to run the wheel of business. And I'm happy that we have more men here than our women. When the man is making more money, madam will smile. Is that correct? So I believe we will get to know and see how that can work out, better for all of us. And I pray that God on our side will reach it by His grace. So now we want to welcome Dr. Anjorin for a paper presentation. We are not just here to gather and to socialize, we are also here to learn. I've learned a lot sitting down and to see how, as I get back to my base, what I need to do to improve on my business delivery. Thank you. Can we make him welcome?
Thank you very much, members of the high table, members of the other side of the high table, all protocols duly observed. I consider it a great privilege to be here today to just make a short presentation. The association actually gave me a letter to present, to make a presentation. Then when I checked the program, I said my name was not there. Maybe it has been postponed. Or like I make to say, it's inconclusive. And that's just on the lighter side. I'm happy to be here, and I believe that within this short time we'll be able to identify certain issues relating to this industry and see how we can reposition the association for better service delivery. And I want to say, I want to commend my successor, Mrs. Roa. I was the past director of the Nigerian Postal Institute. So now I am on your side, but I'm on my own now. And I believe that there are things that we really need to know. And I'm looking at the dynamics of delivery services, e-commerce perspective, dynamics of delivery services, e-commerce perspective. I'm not going to teach you what you already know, rather you teach you what you know. And I'm not going to give you statistics now, because it's just for us to know some basic things that we need to understand in this industry. And by way of introduction, of course, we all know the definition of e-commerce. If I ask you now, what is e-commerce? I know that we will have up to 10 different definitions. True of us. True of us. But in short, e-commerce is an umbrella term for internet transaction from online to physical delivery. That's just a basic understanding. Now this is an online transaction. You have online store where there is buying and selling. And of course, no matter what you are buying and selling online, there must always be a physical aspect of it. There was a time, I think I was in University of Lagos, I was doing my program, my PhD program, and one lecturer asked me a question. He said, "You say you work in NIPOST?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Does NIPOST still exist?" I said, "Yes." Because if NIPOST does not exist, then you are seeing me who is working in NIPOST. Sometimes people ask some questions, even what you are doing now. So many people are ignorant about what you are doing. Yes. They ask, "Oh, delivery, nobody just to carry bike and deliver." That is all they know. But they don't know that in the air, in the cloud, a lot of things are going on. And so you need to understand the industry you belong to and the aspect of that industry that you are handling. So, that being said, you know, you have the retail aspect of e-commerce, you have the wholesale aspect, and each and every one of us, we are supposed to know which area am I good in. Some are good in retail, some are good in wholesale, some they combine the two. They know what to do in both sides. So these are some of the things you need to understand. And I also want to know, most of us, we know that there are two major types. The business partnership, then the products and service aspect of e-commerce. And we have to identify where do I belong in this divide. And you know, most of the things we want to know, you go online, you can easily get your information. And from information, we have more than 700,000 online stores. More than 700 global online stores. And you are one of them. So I want you to clap for yourself. Congratulate yourself. Because by the time they are counting 2 million online stores, you are already ahead. And I believe that this gathering is for us to understand that we are in a very serious industry. Very serious, and at this point in time, anything you cannot do with ICT, then you need to go and check yourself. Because it's got that all businesses are coming towards that technology, internet. And you need to key in. And because you are here, because you are in this industry, it shows that you are already ahead of others. Business has left the analog realm. And by 2021 statistics, Nigeria happens to be the 33rd largest online country in the world, ahead of Denmark, following Colombia. So that means that we are somewhere. You know, they call us third world country. But in our third world, there are so many things happening in our world that we are even better than some other countries. But sometimes we don't know because we have not ventured to look at what is happening in other places. And let me tell you, delivery service is the major key thing is what I call time sensitivity. Delivery is a time sensitive business. Promptness is the essence. Trust is very paramount. And we also know that safety and security of items, they are all ingredients that we need to do. And we discover that sometimes people trivialize other areas and they sacrifice other areas. All they are looking at, like one of the presenters talked about speed. You just want, they say we should deliver 2 hours, and there, every other aspect, you are not good at. Several times, I have physically seen bikes overloaded, uncovered, and as you are going on the road, you just see the things falling on the road. I don't know whether you have seen it, whether your bike, and then there are some items where you carry them. By the time they fall, that's all. They're destroyed. So, we have to be well abreast of the fact that the job we are doing, there is time sensitivity, trust, safety, security architecture. Then the second point, regulatory issues. All operators are supposed to understand what the regulation is saying and to comply. And how many of us know what regulation is about? By the grace of God, I worked in the regulatory body. I was a pioneer staff of the Courier Regulatory Body in 2001. And I was there for more than 14 years. I was head of ethics complaints and strategy. I was head of monitoring. I was head of control administration, and different areas. And what are we expected to know about regulation? We are supposed to understand the relevant government laws that make NIPOST the regulator of the industry. So long as what you are doing has to do with courier, logistics, and delivery, you are expected to be licensed with NIPOST. Presently, that department is called Courier what? Can somebody tell me? CLRD. What is CLRD? Tell us, please. This is interactive.
Courier Logistics Regulatory Department.
Courier and Logistics Regulatory Department. How many of us know that department? You have heard about it. Please, let's be honest. Raise your hand. That I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I make bold to say that is supposed to be our starting point. Apart from CAC, where you register your business, again, it's also possible. The law enforcement agency, please let there be immunity here. Sir, the policeman. And recently, let there be immunity. We are just trying to bring. I always tell people that when you bring people together, and possibly people don't know exactly what they are supposed to do, at that point, that's not the point of enforcement. It's the point to sensitize and enlighten people. This is what you are supposed to do. Then after this, if you now know and you don't do it, then you are OYO. I hope you understand what I mean by OYO. Yes, now, the CLRD law, then it was 2001 Nigerian Postal Service Act 45, Cap 127, Law of the Federation of Nigeria. That's the law that talks about regulation. If you go online, if you want to get anything about the regulation, just type HTTP, CLRD, you see it. Anything about CLRD, just go online, you see it. Thank God you have online people. So when you type regulation, you just get it. Everything about licensing, everything you need to know. Even you can even do get your license online. You can get it online now. So presently the law is New Operation Guidelines of Nigerian Postal Service Act 45, Cap 127. The law states what and what you need to know, what you are supposed to do. And I want to say, with apology to our leaders, the grand chairman, the president of the association, please, members are supposed to ensure compliance. Rather than government agencies, NIPOST and others clamping down and enforcing the law, it is better we use this opportunity to know what to do and to do what we are expected to do. Now, in this industry, I want to ask some questions. Looking at my point 3, customer service and loyalty. How do you treat your customers? How do you treat your customers? Who can tell me how you treat your customers? Anybody? Yes, sir.
We treat our customer as kings.
As kings, how?
We believe that without them, there cannot be us. So we form this synergy and partnership with them for their business to always succeed. Because the more they succeed, the more we also succeed.
Thank you very much. How do you treat your customers? How do you retain your customers? The treatment of your customer will depend, will dictate customer retention. And today, it's an open market. If I come to you and you don't perform, I can also get somebody who is doing what you are doing or possibly doing it better. How do you ensure the loyalty of your customer? These are questions that you ask yourself, and from this point, you also have to understand what customer service is and customer loyalty. Then, the next point I want to talk about is niche. I was around niche creation. What did I call it?
Niche creation.
Okay, who can tell me what is niche? Like I said, I'm not lecturing, I just want us to niche. No, not from the high people. I want somebody from. Thank you, sir. Your name? You raise your hand. Yes. Are you changing your mind? Okay.
Which has to do with creating a room that has a DNA, like something that is very, very opposite of what people are doing. Looking at what people are doing, then creating something that is very different and owns it. So,
Okay, not necessarily opposite to what people are doing.
Could be.
Okay.
That should be a slight different from what people are doing.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Just, my names are Odia. Niche means you just create a unique style for yourself and how you run your business.
Okay, a unique style. Yes, somebody? I thought you raised your hand. Okay.
Niche for me is, you can focus on there are different platforms with which you can run with. Probably, let me take for example, banking. Let me use banking now. You can decide, you have different places, different products in which you can run and play with. So you can decide to focus on, okay, since I understand this particular area more, let me focus more on this and specialize more in that area. That's creating a niche for myself and playing very well in that niche.
Okay, the last person. You raise your hand. You have changed your mind. Okay.
I think it's an area of specialization where you just want to focus on.
Okay. Now, your niche determines the capture of your business environment. What are you capturing? What have you identified as your area of strength? Maximize your ability and opportunity in that area. You cannot do everything. For example, we were discussing before this, and he was telling me, I caught it, as he was telling me, this is what I do, this is what I do. I said, that's a niche. He's not doing everything. And I want somebody to give me an example of his own niche in this business. Nobody. Your own, if you understand what I mean by niche, can you give me the area of your focus? E-commerce is wide. Delivery is wide. Location is a niche. Location is a niche. Okay, my need is that I want to concentrate on warehousing in Benin. That's a niche. Some people are not warehousing. They come to you to collect. They keep with you. That's a niche. Let me not do too much exposure. With time, when we continue making training, you understand some of these things in broader perspective. Then the next thing I want to talk about is branding. Branding defines your brand. Branding does what? It defines your brand. And this includes your color combination. What's color? What has color got to do with and doing e-commerce? Like branding. If you okay, since you have no pig milk, have you seen that pig change? They will make it fine. The only thing is that you will know that it's a different pig, a different design, but it's still pig. But some of us will change our logo 2, 3, 4 times. Branding gives color to your business. Aesthetic, beauty, identity, and quality. So I want to advise, if you have not done that, do something on branding. Like I said, these are just issues we are touching. A time is coming, if we have training, in fact, each of these is there are topics. There are so many with branches. You can take branding for a whole week to understand what branding is all about, and from there you just see your. So some people, they don't have much knowledge about the business, but there are people who are buying their brands. Are you with me? People buy brands. Say, no. And so I've seen it. It's well. Have you seen Uniben bottled water? How many of you know the Uniben bottled water? Oh, okay. Some of us are not from it. You see that? It's unique. Some people I like it. In fact, some people buy the bottle, they keep it somewhere, they put groundnut inside it. I like this bottle. That's a brand. The bottle might not be better than this one on your table. Then I want to go to challenges. What are the challenges of the industry? I want you to mention one to me. The first one. What's the first one? The first challenge. The most critical challenge now. Which one?
Theft.
No, that's not the most critical. Faith delivery. No. The most critical challenge is insecurity. Now, theft. No, it's not theft. Insecurity is not theft. You don't discover that. Okay, you deliver. You want to deliver, and you are not safe. How do you deliver? These are some of the challenges. So if you have your bike, you have your delivery vans, how do you ensure that they go on the road without problems? You have to take note. These are some of the things that we need to address. Of course, the security agencies, they are doing their best. But you discover that as a business owner, you must also think, how do I make sure that my items are delivered without challenges? And that's why the collaboration with security agencies and all the other government agencies will become very important. And that's why I'm happy that the police is here, the road safety is here. There are other agencies. In fact, by the time your business expands, and that's my prayer, our business will expand.
Amen.
In Jesus' name. Amen. By the time you get to a point, you have all agencies. NCAA will be here, FAN will be here, you have NAFDA, you have the Standard Organization of Nigeria. All of them, they will come. They will come because we need them. Yeah. I'm telling you, we need all of them. Government inconsistent policy is another challenge that the industry is facing. Inconsistent policy. This policy today, this policy tomorrow, and the multiplicity of regulation and agencies is not helping the thing. Because the police is here, road safety is here. I happen to be involved in a project, we call it the National Addressing System, where the federal government wants to give a homogeneous addresses to all entities nationwide. And the project started. In the process, we had to contact all other government agencies in Abuja. But discover that when you go to road safety has developed so many things. Go to Population Commission. Population Commission has developed so many things. Go to NIPOST. NIPOST is working on a database. Go to the police. They have a whole data room where you can get information. Go to NFIU. They have all this. These things are not harmonized. And one of the things that the National Addressing System wanted to do is to bring all data together so that when the police is trying to investigate a matter, there is a central data. When there is a crash or something and you are trying to locate, but when fire service You know that there are some cases where fire service, they will tell fire service there's a fire incident somewhere. To even locate the place becomes a problem. Government says, let there be a database. And let me tell you, the ultimate beneficiary of that national addressing system is the delivery agents. And somehow, well, government thing is still ongoing. I happen to be part of those who developed the national addressing guideline and the standard, which has been approved by the FEC and the NEC. But we are waiting, sometimes we want government to be fast. We are believing that, but if something comes, all this, even the cases of locating everything will be solved. Part of the problem we have in the industry is multiple taxation. Is it true of us? True. Nobody is answering me. Very true. Taxation here and there. This tax here, this tax here. But if by the time we come together, we'll be able to present our case. Case study. Okay. For power supply, does it affect you?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Fuel. The cost of fuel now. Another challenge we have is competition rather than collaboration. Did you hear what I said?
Yes, sir.
There's a proverb in another that says birds can fly in the sky without their shoulder rubbing into the other. The sky is wide enough for everybody. And some of you that have interacted with in this industry say the market is there. The market is there. And if you are able to get your own niche, what do you do? You don't even bother what the other person is doing. Oh, I'm facing my own. Somebody cheated me one day, and I felt so very much hurt. I said, why should this person do this? And I said, God, what do I do? God showed me a picture. I was walking inside after rainfall. When you're inside the mud, what happened? Your footprints will show. Two of us. And I was saying, I was going to retaliate. I was going to pay that person back. He is going. And God showed me that picture that I was walking on, rain had just fallen, I was walking. So when rain falls and you are the first person, whose leg is the first? Whose steps? It's my own. So I now saw another person putting his leg where I have just removed my own leg. And God said, your leg was there first. Just go ahead with whatever you are doing, whatever direction I'm directing you, you are already there before that person. And by the time the person is coming, you are already ahead. Put your hand together. So when you are doing what you are doing, and you don't mind what others are doing against you, what happens is that your leg is already there. And by the time they are putting their leg, you are already in front. And one other area of challenge is poor ICT knowledge and deployment. Some of us are in e-commerce, but even the ICT we are using to run our business, how many of us know what to do? These are challenges that we need to address. Lack of proper training and industry knowledge. I think that's one area we are going to work with our team, because training is very key. With training, there are so many challenges you can overcome. And industry knowledge, most of us, like I asked about the regulatory body, many of us don't know. If I ask you about NIPOST now, you don't know anything about NIPOST. And meanwhile, NIPOST is there, and so many things you can do with NIPOST, so many things you can benefit, so many areas you can also collaborate. Then what are the prospects in this industry? You can tell me the prospects as I try to round up. What are the prospects? Let me give you one. Then you give me another. Nigerian population is a prospect. How many people do we have? Sometimes they say 200 millions, 250, whatever the number is, it's above 200 million. That's the prospect, the population. And then when you look at the youth population of this country, We are talking of not less than 70 million to 100 million youths in this country who are always, they're always doing bang. When somebody asks that with the coming of phone and internet, somebody asked me one day, what job will NIPOST be doing? Okay. You know that people order more goods online than when there was no online internet. Now people now ask, but how many? I've not seen any drone or internet that have come to deliver television in my house. Who will deliver it? But it is ordered online. That's one area that we need to know. That's a prospect for the industry. We have availability of market. The market is there for us. The customers are waiting for us. Technology is developing, and I think we have enough technology to do this business. Do we have? It's the use that is the problem. It's not the availability of the technology. Then, increasing e-commerce items and awareness. And this type of program is one of the major programs where we have more and more awareness. Then, I think also, I might be wrong, I don't know, those of you in the industry, correct me, I think that we are also getting more manpower. People with knowledge that been developed daily. True of us. What are the recommendations? Number one, I'll just give one or two. Synergy and collaboration. I cannot overflog it. Synergy and collaboration. Training and capacity building in all areas of logistics business. And what do I mean by this? In as much as some of you are into e-commerce, mainly e-commerce, a knowledge of what happens in other related businesses, you are supposed to have it, even if you are not doing it. For example, you should know what is courier service as distinct from the e-commerce. What is the full logistics business that we are talking about? What are the segmentation? What is DHL doing as a company that you are not doing? What is FedEx doing? What are the businesses? An understanding of the conglomeration of businesses along the way of your business will help you to know, okay, and it will also help your niche. You say, okay, these are the things. What is NIPOST doing? NIPOST has offices in over 3,000 places. Can't I even go and say, oh yeah, NIPOST, let's work together. These are some of the things that we need to do. Then the last point I want to raise here is on compliance recommendation. Every operator should endeavor to comply with the extant law. And for you to comply with the law, you must know the law. What is contained in it? Somebody said if you want to hide something from a Nigerian or is it an African, they write it in the book because they will not read it. And I believe that we will read. I believe that every one of us will get to a point where we will be on the same page in terms of compliance, in terms of knowing what to do. Lastly, I want to give you a story, a short story. The goose that lays the golden egg. And what is that goose? A countryman had a goose. Let's use a hen, for example. And this goose was laying 1 egg per day. The goose was laying 1 egg per day, and the owner of the goose was carrying the golden egg and taking it to the market to sell, and was making a lot of money. And the money was so much that he became a very rich man because it's a golden egg. So one day, he sat down and said, oh, how do I maximize my money? This 1 egg per day is not enough for me. I need more eggs. So he decided, he carried the goods, said, let me see what I will do with the goods. Instead of him to take the right decision, what did he do? He slaughtered the goods so that he can carry all the eggs at once. And what did he do? He has killed the goods. When he opened the stomach of the goods, there was no egg. And he was now stranded. And he now said, I thought that I could take all the goods. And I'm telling you this story because many of us, we try to do too many things and make our money now. At the end of the day, we kill our business. We put too many foods, rice, beans, in our mouth. At the end of the day, what happens? You spill over everything. Do not kill the goose and let it go to bed. Thank you.
May we not kill the goose and let it go to bed. That's very instructive. He said something, he said leaders are leaders. If you want to hide any truth from a black man, you put it in a book, because they believe, the white believe that we don't read. The few of us that have been reading, I believe we are here today represented. And the truth we are learning from here, we will take them back to our locality, our locations, and make our businesses better and improve on our business delivery across the nation by God's grace. Now we have about 5-10 minutes to invite the president of the Riders Association of Benin to Edo State to let us know some of the things they are doing to improve that sector, and perhaps write on what has been said today to see how we can make our business better. Can we make it welcome?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege to stand before everyone, and I will see stand on the esteemed protocol. I'm very brief, even though I have so much to say. I was thinking I will speak before God because he has suggested all that I wanted to say. But I will just point out just 3 things, and they all go down synergy. Delivery, I'm going to talk about it because if you order anything online, until it gets to the person or the buyer, you've not done anything. And we on the grass, I'm going to talk about on the Edo State, my state, Benin City. If anybody orders anything online, until you get to the person in the grassroots, it's like you've not done anything, and that makes our part very, very, very important. My name is Famous Adegbola. I'm the president of the Edo Pipe Delivery and Logistics Association. You know, our major aim is to synergize the business. First of all, the aspect of the e-commerce. Let me drive that first. Without synergy, a lot of people came in from several states to Edo State, to Benin City. Maybe they've not seen each other before, maybe online. And this is possible. You're able to sell your item from other states in Benin City because you synergize with the company in Benin. And what we are trying to do as an association is to bring every delivery company under one umbrella. When I made a delivery through FedEx to US, when the person receives it, I saw the package is packed with DHL line, and I use FedEx. You see, most of the time, the synergy makes the thing faster. If somebody orders something from you, and the person is to pay on delivery, most of e-commerce they pay on delivery, the money might be with them. If the item does not get to them on time, you see that they will start to change their mind. When you now start calling them, they will say, I travel, I not pay. They wanted that item, but the money was there. Maybe something else came to collect that money, and you see those items now be stopped in the location where you sent it to. So the synergy aspect is, if maybe a delivery agent with me, maybe like AAA for example, has delivery, who sends a lot of things down to Benin, and she's the one representing it in Benin. If we synergize the logistics in Benin,
she might have bulk of delivery, like 30 delivery can just come in. And she might, if the manpower might not be so much to have that delivery done immediately or that same day. You see, she will only do the one she can do today, the next day she will do the next one. You see, sometimes delay can come in and customer don't want to get that item again. But if we are together, she can go to our platform and say, I need a dispatch right now, or I need such number of company to come and let me do some delivery. Officially, I do that sometimes. So those delivery will go out fast, and it will speedy, it will make the customer say, I just ordered this thing last night, and they brought this thing to me this morning. It will make the customer want to always recognize the trust will be there. That's the aspect of e-commerce. I want to be brief. The second one is for the government. Early this year, a situation happened that the governor had to put a ban on the logistic pike. This was because a prominent person was kidnapped, and they discovered that they used the dispatch bike to supply food, firearm to the kidnapper. You see, such situation. When we went to the government, we were almost apprehended because so they said, you understand? We were almost apprehended. After there's an association that is guiding these people, so that's why there's somebody to hold. We want to be somebody to hold. That's why we want to work with the police. Most of the time, I always go to a class office. We want to work with NDLA. They call us when they work with NDLA. We want to work with road safety. And we are making this thing because the system, this whole thing happened during the lockdown. A lot of persons enter the business, so the business has a lot of challenges. It's curious now, but we cannot just instantly cause that change. So we come as a union to make sure that every person that enter the business, some don't have the knowledge of the business, but because this is what is trending, they all run into the business. So that's what we are trying to correct as an association, and I'm able to do that. We have. You must register your business. We know like that said, you cannot enforce the law if you don't know the law. So even though we know that we are trying to make it palatable for the logistic owners, so that we will not drive people out of business. That's what we're trying to do. The first part is to get your business registered, and we're working with NIPOST to make sure that our members have license. Even though the amount is large, we negotiated with NIPOST to give us a stretch to the platform that we want to pay on an installment. You see, we're trying to encourage, not to frustrate, because the business is so large. We're trying to encourage those in the business so that they are able to continue to do business. We discussed with NIPOST and we've created a platform for our members to make sure that they get the license. And also, we also work with the police. We created a sticker because that sticker will enable us to know our members. So that sticker, we are taking those stickers to the NDLA, the police, the EXMA, a lot of agents that are known, and the FRSC, so that they will know these particular persons, they are under this company, and we know them. Those that are not under will be encouraged or will be compelled, if possible, to be part of the association, because it is very, very important in terms of security. We want it to be easier for government to be able to call a certain person to discuss issues that affect that particular part of their business. We want it to be easy because if I have there's a union or association that governs in the states, if there is any issue that should be addressed, you can reach out to the executive and they will disseminate the information to our members. So all I'm just talking about is synergy. Because if we are talking about time, we talk about synergy. If we are talking about trust, we talk about synergy. And if an association, we are together, we have one core value, then it will be easier because you will not want to call your neighbor because you don't know what they are, you don't know what if the person will deliver the item. And going down to the dispatch riders, the synergy also help us to educate them, to also carry their interest. A lot of them, they are not well paid, and we know how tedious, how important their role is in the business. We also want to guide their interest and make sure that they are well paid so that they will not want to steal you can give a response that is specific to the dispatch, and the person I just looking at it as it's like I will just package it back and say this thing. A lot of things will come to their mind. You know, there are some items that are very expensive. Some have to bring money back to the office when some persons want to pay cash. So there's a lot of job to be done on that of the dispatch riders. But we can only do these things if we come together. I'm talking about those states, I don't know about other states. If we can bring every logistic companies together, it will make your e-commerce business very easier and efficient. Are you getting what I'm saying? It will make it easier and very efficient. Then lastly, I will the aspect of regulating the logistic business. I will also plead that if there is any possibility of the Delivery Agent Association of Nigeria, if there is any possibility for us to also work to synergize, as in the Edo pipe, to synergize with the Delivery Agent Association of Nigeria, it will also enable you to have more manpower within Benin City and Edo states. It will enable your delivery to go smoothly, fast. I don't know if you are getting it, to enable things to go smoothly. Because delivery work, one person cannot do it. So once we put our heads together, we'll see that our customers will trust us. They can call us this minute, and the next minute the item is delivered. Thank you very much.